Hey, it's Andre, and I want to talk about the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always 30th Anniversary Special on Netflix. By the way, this is going to have some spoilers in it. If you know Power Rangers and you see what's happening from the trailers, you can probably put a lot of it together. But just in case you don't want to know anything, overall, I liked it. Go watch it. And then come back and watch this. It has just been so interesting to see so many people talking about Power Rangers, from people who've been diehard Power Ranger fans watching it for the past 30 years, to people who maybe only watched Mighty Morphin Season 1, to people who maybe only watched a few episodes and are now coming back to it. I've just seen so many people talking about Power Rangers, so the special did at least that. But did it entertain? Well, for me, of course it did. Are you surprised? It was just so cool to see this, because this is something I never thought we would ever get, is some kind of anniversary special to Power Rangers that wasn't just here's a couple of cameos in whatever the current season of Power Rangers is. Like, this is a full-blown special specifically for Mighty Morphin, all about them. And it was just so cool to watch. What's nice about this special, and something I think we have been wanting, something that's familiar to the things we've seen in the past, but also bringing in new elements. And I think that's the case for this entire special. What I find very interesting about it is it definitely keeps everything about Power Rangers that we know. Like, all the cheese is there. All the Power Ranger one-liners and wacky cheesy jokes and stuff, that's all in there. But they're also adding this dramatic element and even kind of darker element of dealing with death and grief in there as well, and taking that seriously, but never going too far where it's like grimdark. Like, it's nice that it feels more mature, but yet it still feels something I feel like pretty much all ages could watch. It's everything from your cheesy jokes about Rocky needing his noodles all the way up to serious tears about things that have happened. They definitely knew that this was catering to people who grew up on Power Rangers, but at the same time, they didn't want to completely exclude people who might be seeing this special for the first time as their introduction to Power Rangers. And I think it's a nice blend of that. That's a tough thing to do. And while there's always gonna be pros and cons of how much of one versus the other, I feel like they did a pretty good job with it. Obviously, because of the anniversary special, there are tons of references and Easter eggs to Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, or to Power Rangers in general. There are references to other Power Ranger cities. There are references to other Power Ranger characters. They even got Ron Wasserman back to do the score for this. Nice. It was especially cool to see Billy and Zach back, to see David Yost and Walter Jones back in Power Rangers. We haven't seen their characters, Billy and Zach, since they left the series. So to see them come back and be front and center, take center stage, do their thing. We see Zach yell, "It's Morphin time." It's Morphin time. It was just like they never left. Smart Billy and hip hop keto Zach with that charming energy, man. It was just really awesome to see that. We also get Steve Cardenas back as Rocky. I hope you get your noodles, man. We also get Catherine Sutherland as Kat, mother of JJ. We even get Adam and Aisha to show up. We get Johnny Young Bosch and Karen Ashley to do a cameo in this. I would have liked to have seen more of them. I would have liked to even see them in action, even if they pulled out some blasters and just zapped around while the Power Rangers were doing their thing. But I would have liked to have seen more of them. I like that even though this is a reunion special, there was still a number of firsts in this. Zach has never been on there with Aisha and Adam. Rocky and Zach together. That has never happened. Zach has never been with Rocky or Catherine, so that was really cool to see them battling together. Catherine has never been in the Dino Megazord. She's always had the Crane Zord and then the Zords after that. See her yell Pterodactyl for the first time, because she always had Pink Ranger power. Rocky as well, I don't think was ever in the Megazord, because by the time he showed up, that was season 2. So at that point, they were using the Thunder Megazord. So another first. We also see Billy in the front piloting the Megazord. That's really awesome that even though this is a reunion special, there's a lot of new stuff in this. We even get Richard Horvitz back as Alpha, and Barbara Goodson, man. Barbara Goodson is so good in this special. She is just eating it up as a robot Rita who is vowed for revenge and is definitely on a new level than the Rita Repulsa we have ever seen, including the fact that she just straight up kills a Ranger. She kills Trini in battle. That was shown in the trailer, and that's sort of the start of this entire episode. It starts with a big battle, which was really cool. Love that they're adding drone shots to Power Rangers and all this obviously original footage. But yeah, Robot Rita goes on a rampage, kills Trini. They cut to a year later, and the other Rangers are mourning that. They always mention it from time to time throughout the course of the episode or the special. They want to make sure they acknowledge Trini's death in this story as obviously an allegory to their feelings about Tui's death in real life when she passed away years ago. It's always going to be that weird feeling of like, what's the proper way to deal with a character when the person that played that character is no longer with us? Obviously, in the case of Trini, they could have done it a number of different ways. It could have happened off screen. They decided to do it this way. There's always going to be a part of me that's going to think, could there have been another way to do it where it wasn't directly Rita killing her? But I do also think it opens up the conversations about grief, about loss, about wanting to place blame, especially in the case of Min, played by Charlie Kirsch. She's Trini's daughter, and when she finds out that Rita killed Trini, and also finds out the reason that Rita is even back is because of Billy, of course feeling guilty about it, that leads to some interesting conversations and some dramatic moments in this special. But also remembering the good things about her too, and that was really nice. And I love that it was all archive footage except for when they actually had the moment of her in battle. It was Yellow Ranger already morphed, so there's no like CGI Trini or like, you know, anything like that. It was nice for them to obviously use this special to pay respect to her. And then of course there was the end where they not only gave love to Tui, but they also dedicated it to Jason David Frank, who was alive when this was filmed, was not a part of it, but then had passed away after it was done. It was nice for them to throw something in there as a tribute. Charlie Kirsch as Min, I thought she did a great job. She seemed like she was Trini's daughter, leading to the path of her becoming a yellow Power Ranger. But I love how they did it. I love how she had to learn the lesson of what it means to be a Power Ranger, what it means to be a hero, because of course she's originally wanting to just fight for revenge against Rita for what Rita did to Trini, and it's the other Rangers who have to prove to her. There's this wonderful scene with Min and Zach where he talks to her about, you can't win on revenge. That's always going to lead you down an even darker path. We don't do this for revenge. We do this for justice. We do this for humanity. I thought that was a really good thing, because then that gives Min the arc of learning what it truly means to be a hero. And when she even tries to make a sacrifice at one point, that's what gets her to understand what it really means to be that hero, to then be that Power Ranger, which then leads to Morphin time. It's so cool when Min tries to use the morpher before she's ready. She's all like, saber-tooth tiger, and it's just not doing anything. The putties are even laughing at her, and the monsters are laughing at her. Man, them putties are messed up, man. The putties in this one are rude. They threw a person off a building. There's one point where two putties pick up Min and like slammed her back on a table. I was like, dang, man, these putties don't play. I love that we get the juice bar back. I love that we get the putties back. I love that they did the 2017 movie theme where when the putties get knocked down, they turn into rocks. I love that Zach broke out the hip hop keto, and it was him. It was Walter Jones doing it, where he was all like doing all this while fighting. I was like, dude, this is the cool stuff right here. Like, those are the nice nostalgic memories that you want to have while still trying to tell a new story. That was really fun. That was some fun stuff. And I love that even Min called it out. Are you breakdance fighting? Like, that was really cool.
Are you breakdance fighting?
It was nice to see Rocky do his kick without getting hurt this time. You remember in Turbo movie when he tried to do the kick and he fell down, and that's when he got replaced by Justin? He got his Andrew Garfield moment. He was like, I'm doing that kick again, and this time I'm not gonna hurt myself, and he freaking pulls it off. That's awesome. I love the picture cameo of Bulk and Skull. I personally would have loved to see the actual Bulk and Skull in this somehow, because they are the true stars of Power Rangers. They've had the biggest character arc, I think, of any character ever on Power Rangers. So it would have been nice to see them pop up. Boom, 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 boom. But I appreciate the shout out. Just seeing those suits, man, it's just all of that, man. It's just so cool. The robot versions of the monsters, Minotaur and Snizzard. And I love the whole concept of Snizzard biting the Power Rangers and turning them into Lightning Collection figures. Rita was just trying to be a collector. That's what this whole special about. Rita just wanted to have her own Power Rangers toy collection, and the Power Rangers were getting in her way. It's just she wanted to use the actual Power Rangers as her toys. And also go back in time to meet her younger self and tell her younger self what to do, and to also kill the Power Rangers in their sleep. God dang, Rita. Oh, Power Rangers are still as cheesy as it used to be. I'm like, Rita just said that she's gonna go kill these teenagers in their sleep so that they will not become Power Rangers. That is dark. Could you imagine like a little Kimberly or Jason or Tommy or Billy or Zach or Trini just lying in bed, and then you just look up and there's a Rita and a robot Rita going, you dead? Like, that's not cool. And I love how they even brought robot Rita back. I love the concept of Billy being like, oh, Zordon's got to be out there somewhere. We got to find him. And then I called it. Like, I'm usually not that dude on the internet is all like, I called it. But I said in the trailer reaction, Rita the body, she got good. She became Mystic Mother and all that, but that evil spirit is still out there somewhere. And freaking Billy, he messed up. He was like, let me look for Zordon. And Rita was like, I'm going to interrupt this call real quick. Take over your Alpha 8. And boom, Rita's back. And again, Barbara Goodson, man, I just can't get enough. There was just so many lines in this that she got me with, man. Although, if we were talking about Power Ranger lines, I don't know why he said this. And I don't even think it's something he would normally say. But it gets me every time. Why did Billy say, come catch these hands? I freaking love it. There's a point where Billy's in the Megazord and he's all like, come catch these hands.
All right, you big lizard. Come catch these hands.
Whoever wrote that in the script, give that person a raise. Billy been hanging around Zach a lot, I guess. Something I thought was really cool too is I love how much the Power Rangers use their weapons in this. And I mean use their weapons. The power daggers from Trini get stabbed in putties. The blaster part of Zach's power axe actually zaps. There is a scene where freaking Rocky jumps up in the air with the power sword and just straight up stabs a monster. I was like, dang! And Billy freaking Rita is talking her mess. She's like, I'm gonna kill all you Rangers. And Billy was like, come catch these hands. No, he didn't say it then, but he literally like stabs her with the power lance. It like comes through the body. It was freaking like Agent Coulson in Avengers. Like, oh, I was like, dang. Don't mess with the Power Rangers, man. It was so good. Like, that stuff was great. I would have personally liked to see some more cameos, especially since we already had revealed in this story that putties were everywhere, that Rita was taking all kinds of Rangers, and we already had a screen that the Power Rangers were looking at from their new command center. So it would have been a nice thing to maybe just green screen some other Rangers saying that they're part of the fight or that they got captured by Rita and Snizzard or whatever. That would have been nice, but I understand that the special really wanted to keep it focused on Mighty Morphin, and so I totally respect that. I hope that maybe if we do more of these, I hope though that the interest that this special is getting maybe will put into their minds that maybe we should do this some more with Mighty Morphin, or maybe with some other teams that might be willing to come back. And I'm sure there are probably some Rangers from other teams who would be down, even if it's just a cameo thing, or maybe you do some team ups that have never been seen before as a special. That's what's funny about this special. Like, there is a part of it that's like, this is a reunion special and this is bringing closure to 30 years of Power Rangers, but at the same time it definitely feels like a but do you like this? Like, would you want more of these? Like, it feels like a special but also a pilot, and that's good and bad, because there's a part of me that like really enjoys it, but there's another part of me that feels like there's more to this, right? Like, you aren't stopping here because it doesn't feel like you're stopping here, especially with the character of Min. Like, are you going to introduce this character for one special? I feel like that's a character that's like, she's going to continue in Power Rangers, right? You keep mentioning JJ. He's going to show up at some point, right? So if that's the case, yeah, make more. Like, I honestly would have been fine with this being a full-length movie. It's about 55 minutes, including credits, but I would have taken an hour 10 or an hour 20 of this. Or I even could have done like a mini-series type thing, maybe a 2 or 3-parter thing. Maybe that would make it too long. I don't know, but there was just something about it that I really liked everything I got. But at the same time, there was always this feeling of like, I feel like there should be a little bit more. Like a little bit more, and I feel like you want to give it, but you're just not giving it right now because you want to see if we even want this. But then once you see that we want this, and considering that it's already like number 3 trending, I think, on Netflix, we want this. So like, do more of it. Get the band back together, because, you know, there's only gonna be so many times you can do that. Shout out to the stunt team, particularly the suit actors. They made for some really awesome Power Ranger fighting sequences. We've been able to get some new styles of Power Ranger fighting. We've been so used to Mighty Morphin Power Rangers with part original footage and part Japanese footage. This whole special is original footage, so that's cool. Don't get me wrong, Super Sentai is awesome. I get it, but it's also nice that with Power Rangers wanting to tell the story that they want to tell, they can do it whatever way they want to do it because they're doing all the footage themselves, including CG Megazords. I know there's probably going to be complaints about the CG Megazord, and in particular with Power Rangers, knowing that we've had the Megazord as a mech person in a suit. It is what it is to me. Like, I get it, a thing to be critical and review everything. I'm personally have not been so big on complaining about CG as of late. I thought it was fine. I mean, just like with the original footage of the Rangers, having a CG Megazord allowed them to do certain things with the Megazord they couldn't do before. Like the Megazord like jumps and flips over the monster at one point, and I was like, oh wow, that's new. And I love that with the Zords that they actually recreated the entire sequence of the Zords coming up. They had the whole run, side by side run and everything. I love when they transition from being on Earth to being in space, and they do the entire Megazord sequence in CG pretty much to the letter of how it was in the original show. So that was a nice nod. That was very cool. I was waiting for them to take care of business, but I guess they'll save that for the Ninja Megazord. And it still seems to be in continuity with the Power Rangers we've seen already. Like there's a shot where they show a news report from Buzz Blast in Angel Grove. Even the reporter is an actress that we've seen on Dino Fury before. Kind of makes me wonder because the next Power Rangers season is Cosmic Fury. And at the end of this season, Billy did go to space, and Cosmic Fury is going to take place in space. I mean, you know, I feel like at some point the Morphin Grid is going to be like, hey, y'all need to meet. So I would not be surprised if Billy shows up. They kind of laid some pieces out to make me wonder if that's going to happen. Of course, I would have loved for everyone that has been in Mighty Morphin to be there. Both those who are living but passed on it and those who are no longer with us. It would have been nice to have everybody. I don't want to always say you get what you get, take what you get, but like I think this is a situation where I literally thought this was going to be impossible in general. I never thought that Power Rangers would even attempt to do something like this. They have had many opportunities to be able to. I don't know. There's a part of me that's like, oh, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. And there's a part of me that's like, yo, you got this. That is a shock. Enjoy it. You know? So that's how I feel about that. Of course, there are going to be some things that I would like to see more of. I would like to see more in-depth character development of the Rangers. We get a little bit of it, obviously, but of course I want to see like the whole backstory of Billy getting his company, Zach being a congressman. Why was Rocky in a fireman outfit? Is he a firefighter or is he you know, a Magic Mike? Like what's going on? But I feel like that it was kind of smart for this special to do just enough lore dump to please hardcore fans, but also keep it general for people who may just know of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers from their nostalgia thing they saw in the 90s that they now get to revisit. And it really does something to people. There's a lot of people who love Power Rangers, but just hasn't revisited it since they saw it back in the day. And I feel like a special like this is a great way to bring that franchise back to those people, to widen the audience of Power Rangers, which means that more specials get made, more shows get made, of course, more toys get made. That helps, again, to keep Power Rangers strong as a franchise alongside the now multiple franchises we have floating all over the place. It's nice to see Power Rangers specifically dabbling more with experimenting with having different tones for different portions of their franchise. Something like what Transformers or Marvel or DC does. Same franchise, but different way to approach it. It's just fun. It was just a very fun thing that felt nostalgic and new at the same time. The vibes I felt watching this were very similar to, honestly, to watching the Super Mario Bros. Movie. It was like, it did enough for me to please me. It had the right Easter eggs and references I wanted. It had the right story that I wanted. Obviously, I could have expected more. Obviously, it could have been a little bit longer. But you know what? For what they did, I was very entertained, and I'm not going to take that away for some random nitpicks. That's how I feel about Mario. That's how I feel about this. I just really was very happy about this, man. Like it just made me feel good. It's just really nice to just see the love for Power Rangers, because I know a lot of people that follow me do like Power Rangers. I know how sometimes it can feel to celebrate and love this particular franchise and kind of feel like you're on your own. And I hope, if anything, this special now maybe gives some of those people that feel that way an open feeling to be like, all right, others like this too. I'm not alone, because you're not. And remember, together we are more. I mean, can 2017 movie just get one more chance? I'm not saying it has to have a whole franchise, just one sequel. I just want to know who the Tommy was going to be in that universe. All right, let me stop before this video is longer than the special itself. Thank you so much for listening to my thoughts. If there's anything I missed or there's anything that you wanted to talk about this Power Ranger special, obviously leave it in the comments. But yeah, man, I had a great time watching this, and I'm really, really hoping that they make more. I would love to see this continue. Talking about this makes me want to watch it again right now. So good.